What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp.
Sparky.
Back again like you never left. And today is a long-awaited video. Is it not, Sparky?
I've been asking for this for quite a while.
Well, so has everybody that has ever watched a top 5 or a normal black rifle review. We finally have the IWI Zion-15, which, you know, has been super requested. A lot of people either they love it or they hate it. Very big topic of discussion when we brought up about some of the best AR-15s on the market today, especially when it comes to price point. These things are not super expensive. They're bouncing around that $1,000 mark, give or take which exact model you get. I think this one came in at like $800 or $900, but you know, depending on where you shop, it'll hit the 1,000. So this is a real big topic for a lot of people when you talk about best budget AR-15s. So we decided it was super important to get one and to test it out, and it's been a long time coming, so let's get right into it. So first things first, disclaimers. There are none. Actually, I lied, there are one. But IWI did not send us this rifle. We have no real affiliation with them. We've talked to them once, and they have left us on red ever since. So this one, off the cuff. We do have a relationship with Primary Arms, and that's where we did get the optics from, and the mounts for the little micro dot that was sent to us by Valhalla Tactical. So those are the disclaimers. There is some shout outs we have to give. Big thank you to 801 Weapon Works. If you haven't checked him out, he's an awesome dude. He's been helping us in terms of sourcing all of our stuff, all the stuff we get that we actually pay for. So now you know we have to thank the biggest supporters of the channel, because without them, we wouldn't be here. The biggest supporter, Sparky, actually just kidding, Basement Operator. You should go check us out at basementoperator.com. There you can find our builds like this IWI build or a placard plate carrier build. Pretty much anything that we run on the channel is over there. We're gonna have a go bag soon. I mean, we've got helmet setups, you name it, it's over at Basement Operator. Also there is some sweet merch. Stickers, all right, or shirts. We got a ton of stuff coming out soon. We got some Cans and Vans content, awesome, sweet new designs. We're coming out with them all the time. So make sure to go check us out at basementoperator.com and pick up some merch, because that's one of the biggest ways we fund the channel and we can keep sending Sparky on vacations. Please. And other than Basement Operator, we got to talk about some other people that support us. True Shot being our ammo sponsor. Big thank you to True Shot. We love True Shot because they're our go-to place for plinking training ammunition. They have LARP and stuff. That's why we love True Shot, because the availability is
one-stop shop.
Endless, really. We also need to thank another supporter of the channel, Tekto Knives. Tekto Knives has been our go-to tomato slicers here on the channel. Actually, we've had that one for a long time now. They have a nice little glass breaker here on the end. They're really sharp, really durable. I really like the handle, the textures that they have. I've been a big fan of Tekto, so big thank you to Tekto. If you want to check them out, they're at basementoperator.com/links. Now that we've talked about everything we have to talk about legally, we need to talk about the most important part of this video. It is the Zion-15. So this is, as we previously mentioned, one of the IWI's staple guns, their AR-15 platform. And this one right here is just the 16-inch version. We're gonna go from tip to butt, talk a little bit about kind of all the different features and stuff that you get on the Zion-15. And then we're gonna talk about how we have it set up, because this one is set up a little bit differently than how we normally trick out our classic black 5.56 rifles. So let's start at the very front. We just had a normal A2 flash hider. We obviously have replaced that with the Dead Air K. This one is the new and improved version that we upgraded with the 5.56 flash hider on it, but we had to put a new brake on it so the QD would attach. We have a 16-inch barrel on this Zion-15. It is 4150 chrome moly steel. It's a really nice barrel. I mean, the accuracy on this thing is really, really good. We're getting about an MOA with a half decent ammo and about 2 with crappy 5.56 stuff, the plinking rounds, you know, the M193 stuff. The gas system on it is a mid-length gas system, which is very typical of normal 5.56, 16-inch AR-15s. We have a full-length 15-inch rail.
I like that.
Yeah, full-length 15-inch rail is always really nice, and we got a Picatinny that spans the full length. You know, when I started on the whole AR-15 journey, I really didn't like the full-length Picatinny piece because I wasn't using the full length. But now that we're running lots of PECs and we're running pressure pads, you really need a full-length rail across the top I mean, it's nice to have it slim down sometimes. If
you're going to sacrifice some weight.
Yeah, you're going to sacrifice weight.
But you got the option.
But you got it. It's really nice to have if you're using the space.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really like it when, you know, more tactical setups, you know, the AR-15s that are set for, you know, full-length picks across the top. We have M-LOK that spans the whole entire rail system at all angles, which is really nice.
Pretty beefy handrail, too.
It is a very beefy handrail. So one of the critiques that a lot of people have given this rifle is the rail system on it walking loose or becoming, you know, not very sturdy. I haven't had an issue with it. It is held in pretty good. It's got anti-rotation tabs here on the side, and it's held in with Allen screws here on the bottom. It seems, you know, a very typical way to mount a rail system. And with the anti-rotation, it's not going to rotate as long as your Allens are screwed in.
Maybe check it every now and then, make sure it's not coming loose.
But it's not something we've had an issue with. One thing that this rail system suffers from, which a lot of rail systems suffer from, is the lack of QD points. It's not that big of a deal to add one, but it's just one of those things like, couldn't you cut in one?
True.
So,
the one thing I've found, like I've griped about that in the past about, you know, the rail not having QDs made into it. But when you get, at least the ones that I have experience with the QD points are already cut into the rail, is that your sling mount just constant swivel.
Well,
which
it depends.
Gets annoying.
Depends on depends on how it's cut in.
That's what I'm saying. The ones I've had experience with have been the ones where it's just, you know, the QD clicks in, it's free spinning.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because it just gets all wrapped up in all this stuff. So, yeah, I used to make a big deal about that, but now I'm like, okay, I'll pay the 15 to 20 bucks to just mount
to get one that locks it in place.
Yeah, just to get a Magpul one.
Yeah.
And just, or like so one of these from Attack Pack, and you're good to go.
It's really a very minute thing. You can go either way with it. So that's the only gripe that I would have with the rail system. The rail system seems to be spaced adequately, distance around the gas system and everything. So if you're adding, well, actually, I don't know.
You got enough space.
You got enough space. One of the things that often comes is, you know, your rail can be really close to your barrel.
So the screws are almost touching the barrel.
So the screws are almost touching the barrel. This is not the case right here. For some reason, I looked at the gas block. Usually, if you put something on the gas block, it's going to touch. But this is adequately spaced around the barrel so that your M-LOK screws are not coming into contact with the barrel, which is good.
Yeah.
PSA suffers from that. A lot of their super slim rails will put them too close, and they'll adjust the barrel when you're screwing in your M-LOK. So it's nice to have adequate spacing there.
But this also keeps your hand away from the barrel.
Yeah.
More too. So as you know, you're shooting this thing and it's getting warm. You know, it's keeping your hand a little bit farther away from the barrel. That's the one, so your hand's right on it.
Yeah, and it heats up quicker. And now it's the weight trade-off, but I like this a lot better than those super slim rail systems.
Yeah.
And this is not a bulky rail system by any means.
No, it's pretty what you would expect for the money.
Moving on back to the upper receiver and the lower receiver, where you have a lot of meat and bones of the build. You have a normal bolt carrier group, nothing really special there. And then you have, you know, your typical 7075 T6 aluminum upper and lower receivers. Pretty basic fire control group and standard lower parts kit.
Standard trigger.
Yep, standard trigger. So nice,
loud reset.
Nice loud reset. It is a pretty nice trigger in it. Sparky, you want to give her a go?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's better than some.
And there's not a lot of play on anything.
No.
So it's a pretty nice trigger.
Yeah, that's better than some. I like
it's
that.
Better than a lot. You're not getting any ambidextrous control systems on it, and you're not getting any type of special charging handle with it. So it's pretty run of the mill, but you're also talking that $800,000-$900,000 AR-15. You're not getting a whole lot of fancy bougie features here. I mean, it's just how the cookie crumbles when you're playing in that price range.
Higher quality rifle that's a blank slate where you can sit there and you can.
That's a very good point. It's a high quality starter rifle that you can build out and add to and construct and upgrade. It's very, very nice. Talking about furniture and stuff upgrading, this is one thing you don't. It has B5 systems, both handle or grip and stock. So I like B5 a lot. I think they're very comparable to the Magpul system. I don't know how you feel about it, Sparky, but I really like the B5 stock and the B5 grip. I mean, it's just, I like the texture on it. I think it's very, very nice.
Steeper angle with a rougher texture. If you like that, I tend to like the more rubberized grips.
Yeah.
But it is nice. I do like the stock. It's got the, a little bit wider.
It's got the little plugs on the back of it.
Yeah, so you got, if you got big cheeks, you got
love big cheeks.
You got a spot to put them. You can't beat it.
No, you can't. And the B5 stock also has a QD point on the back. So you get a QD for the top and you get a QD from the back, and you're running your 2-point sling like a pro. Moving on to the buffer and the castle nut and the whole, I guess, recoil system. It does have a stake castle nut, which is very common. It's what you look for, I mean, if you want, we can pull apart the bolt and check for staking there. Staked gas key. Yep. So, I mean, but that's very like
what you'd expect for the money.
What you'd expect for the money.
You're not going to see that on a $400 AR.
No. And if you do see it, it's going to be half-assed.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is a very well done entry-level rifle. And I can see why there was so much hype behind it in terms when we were doing like all of our top 5 videos, everybody would bitch and be like, where's the Zion? Where's the Zion? Well, I understand why it's in the discussion for such a well-made, about $1,000 rifle.
Because you don't have to change anything about it besides the cosmetic stuff.
Exactly. You don't have to really upgrade anything on it.
Unless you want, ambi controls.
Or actually
better charging handle.
The first thing I would do would definitely be a Radian. I think that without a doubt, if I got the first thing I got with this gun, if I wanted to start making this my like go-to Radian, without a doubt.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, and then from there on, maybe upgrading the trigger, but the trigger's really nice.
Pretty nice for a mil spec.
Yeah, for a mil-spec trigger. So let's talk about the build itself, Sparky, and how we have this set up, because I think that's important. So we have this set up as kind of an SPR build. Now this is the 16-inch version. IWI has an 18-inch Zion that they call an SPR. We decided we wanted to go with the 16 just for it being a little bit more compact. We knew we were going to run it suppressed, and we didn't want to, I guess.
And we could change its roll later.
Yeah, we could change its roll later if we wanted to dive into something more CQB oriented or GPR. So this one, as we'd mentioned, has the Dead Air K on the front. We can swap that out with our Aero Precision Lahar and get a little bit more sound suppression. This is just, basically a battle suppressor. And honestly, the little flash hider does fairly decent. I wouldn't say it's still the best option out there on the market in terms of K suppressors, but it does pretty good.
It does its job. Kind of.
The old trusty ProTac.
Streamlight
ProTac. This is more of a budget setup, so we went with the Streamlight ProTac instead of like a Surefire 600 or something more bougie like a Cloud or something like that.
You don't want O-Light?
No, I don't want no O-Light. All right, I'll stay far away from O-Lights. We have a very vertical grip right here. This is the full size vertical grip. This probably makes Hunter super itchy. He hates stuff like this.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't like things to stick out all of a sudden.
No, he don't. The reason I went with this one instead of like a Chode one is because I felt like this was going to be a bigger rifle setup, and with so much going on back here, I thought it balanced it out a little bit here on the front.
Yeah, I can see it.
And I just think I like the aesthetic of it. It looks good. It's wrapped in goon tape for some extra grip.
Some texture.
Ooh, yeah. And then we have the M-Log bipods out here on the front because, everybody uses bipods all the time. Moving further back, we have kind of the whole optic system, and this is a pretty sweet optic setup. This is a Primary Arms GLX 2.5-10, which this is one heck of an optic.
Oh, I love the reticle.
Oh, the reticle in it's awesome. Hunter popped that up here somewhere on the screen. But this is my first time with a Primary Arms GLX. I've mainly been using the SLX systems just because they're more budget. We do a lot more budget stuff here on the channel. These things run anywhere from like $600 to $800, so you're starting to push into the higher end optic realm. But these are awesome. They have really nice turrets on them. Very audible. This is a mil optic, so America.
That's right. Illuminated optic as well.
Is an illuminated optic as well. So, you know, really, really nice 30 millimeter system. So we were rocking it with the Aero Precision mount. I love the Aero mounts. They're 2 screws in, out.
And they're lightweight.
Yeah, and they're lightweight.
People get caught up. They see a cantilever mount, and they're like, "Oh, that's heavy."
No,
not if you buy the cheap one, yes, but you buy something more nicer.
Aero Precision. That's about an $80, $90 mount.
Wait, that's not bad. No,
for what you get,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Over here on the side, you'll notice something a little odd. This is a Valhalla Tactical little micro dot plate that is modified to work on an Aero Precision mount.
Slick.
Really slick. We're running a brand new Primary Arms SLX RS10, which is a pretty sweet little budget red dot. One of the flaws that I've found with this Valhalla Tactical, and maybe it's not a flaw with the mounting system itself, but maybe what I'm running it with, this turret is slightly in the way. It doesn't make it unusable, but it takes up the FOV just a little bit, just enough to where it's annoying.
Yeah, like when you rotate it over, you can find the dot quickly, but you're seeing half the turret.
Yeah, you can find the dot.
In the way.
It's still functional, it's still usable, but you are not able to have a complete FOV. Now, you know, what you're using this for is probably not going to be very long range, very...
I'm not using this for long range.
No, not using this for long range. This is like that 7 to 25 yard.
Quick transition.
Quick transition, just, you know, quick go, shoot, and do what you need to do. Obviously, having a lot of FOV would be nice, but this is still usable. Now, the way I think you combat this is you get an optics plate and bring it up.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we need to look at moving forward with this build if we're going to maintain it in this platform of like the SPR platform. But overall, I think it's a pretty sweet setup. It's different, it's unique, and it's something that isn't on the market widespread. Yeah. And I think it's something that definitely is a good idea.
Yeah, it's definitely fulfilling a niche. Like when you need it, like you need it.
And what I really like about it is there's not a lot of transition going from
it's just
hardly any rotation with how it is sitting on the optic here. So I think it's pretty sweet.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it's a nice innovation, and they make a ton of these for different types of mounts. So they're not only for the Aero Precision mount, they make a bunch of them, and they have a bunch of different plates. So just like Arasaka, where you can buy literally any plate for anything.
You just mix and match.
Same works for the Valhalla Tactical. You can just mix and match it on it. So it's a pretty sweet little setup.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously you don't see it on here, but we have an Edgar Sherman sling. It's really hard to beat those slings. They're awesome, and I've been a really big fan of them ever since 801 Weapon Works sent that one out. I've really liked them a lot. So that's the gist of the build. I really think that this is a good entry level to mid-range build for people.
Yeah.
Or for people coming into the AR-15 world. I think if you got an IWI, you wouldn't have to do a whole lot to it to make it a very nice
cosmetic
rifle. And like you said, it just basically cosmetic stuff or little quality of life things like the Raptor, or maybe a slightly better trigger, or maybe you want to do ambi, so you get ambidextrous safeties.
I would say it's definitely more, I wouldn't go as far as say beginner, but like if you're wanting something, if you want like buy once, cry once, this is what I would lean
Except for you're not crying that much.
No, you're not crying that much, but I'm saying like if you had a choice, you're like, okay, do I buy the $400 PSA or I save money and buy the $1,000 or $900 IWI?
You getting the IWI?
You're getting IWI. Like I would wait and get this.
I would definitely agree with that, Coleman. That's a great point. If you have any kind of like second thoughts, or maybe I don't want to get the PSA because you've heard bad press, which we like the PSAs a lot.
They're good. They do the job.
For training rifles, for getting your feet wet. They're great to get in there.
But if you want to jump off kind of in the middle,
without pushing that $1,500 for the BCM, or starting to push into that $2,000 range for
we don't want to buy Aero stuff and build it.
Yeah, or buy Aero stuff and build it, because like honestly, that's one of the biggest problems with Aero. You can't buy a complete rifle.
Yeah.
Now they make awesome stuff, but you
a lot of people don't want to sit there and put it together. Like they'd rather just
have it all. Go right to the gun store, grab it off the shelf, and walk out with it. And that's what you can do with the IWI. And honestly, I think our next top 5 AR-15 video, when
it might make it.
It's definitely a contender, and I think it's
only time will tell. Only
time will tell, but I think it's a shame we didn't have it like 2 or 3 years ago and been making it a staple for the channel. So been a big fan of it, and I think everybody, if you're in that low to medium range, this is something to consider. And
very much so. I definitely look at this. If you're in, that $500 to $1,000 range, I'd definitely take a look at this.
Yep, pretty sweet little option. So
you're saying the comment section was right?
Whoa, hold on.
No, the comment section was right like this one time. Most of the time they're overrated.
So it's like 0.000005%.
Yeah.
About that time they said they wanted to see more of Sparky.
Well, you can go subscribe to his OnlyFans. So we're going to wrap this video up right here. Make sure to go check out basementoperator.com. There you can find all the builds on the channel, and make sure to follow us on Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.